I, 38 male, am divorced, no kids, and pretty comfortable with my lifestyle. My sister, 32 female, just had her first baby with her husband, 34 male, about 4 months ago. I've seen the kid maybe 2 or 3 times now. Cute little guy. But I'll admit, I've never been baby crazy. I like kids, just when they're not mine. Anyways, a couple of weekends ago, I stopped by their place. They've been inviting me over a lot lately because my sister is trying to, quote unquote, keep the family close now that she's a mom. It was a very chill visit. I brought takeout. We sat talking for a while she fed the baby. Her husband was there too, doing that half zombie, half proud dad things that dads do. At one point, my sister was talking about how she and her husband were updating their will, saying something like, "We've been trying to figure out who'd take care of Noah if something ever happened to us." Then she looks over at me. Then she looks over at me, half jokingly says, "You take him, right?" Without really thinking, I laughed about it and I said, "Oh, hell no. I'll barely be able to feed myself." It was one of those offhanded comments that I thought obviously was a joke, but the room kind of got frozen. Her husband looked at me with a weird look, and my sister smiled, but it was completely wiped away. My sister smiled, but it was very quickly wiped away. She said, "That's not funny." And I realized that I'd had to step in. I tried to lighten the mood by saying, "Come on, guys, I love you. I'm just not the parenting type," but it was already too late. My sister told me verbatim, what an awful thing to say, and that I clearly didn't care about her and her family if I couldn't even hypothetically imagine being there for her son. I said something along the lines of, "You've got plenty of other people around," and she snapped back and said, "No, we don't. My husband is an only child, and you're all I've got." Things escalated very fast. She got upset and told me to leave, so I did. Since then, she hasn't texted me back, even though I apologized, and my mom told me that she thinks my sister is overreacting, but to give her some space. My dad said what I said was cruel and careless. From my side, I don't really think I did anything with malice. I love my sister and her kid and her husband, but I'm just being honest. I can't picture myself suddenly becoming a full-time parent. I thought honesty was better than pretending I'd take on something I can't handle. But now it's been 2 weeks, and she's still not speaking to me. So, am I the asshole for making that joke? Or for standing by what I actually feel?
I seen your face the whole time. You look so concerned.
Fam, there's obligations you should have as a human being, fam. You feel me? Okay, let me be frank. I have 2 sisters, okay? And if they had kids, God forbid, if they were somehow to meet their end, I would be there for that child. I don't see a world in which I wouldn't be there or be in some shape or form support system for that kid. Do I think the sister went overboard? I do. Like maybe it was just a joke that went, and it didn't land well. Fair enough. I think she took it a little too far with that. But the intention from the dude to be like, I don't want to support my sister if God forbid she was ever to pass away. I think that's weird. I'm there for my sister. In this dunya and in akhirah as well. You feel me? I have to be there to support that child if she so happens to meet her end. Because that kid is not going through some agency and then gonna be adopted. Fam, how am I gonna do that to my sister's kid?
Oh.
How am I gonna do that? You know what I mean? I can't do that, bro.
Come on.
If like 100, if like let's be honest. Do I want to do it? Probably not. But will I do it? Definitely, because I have the obligation to take care of another Jama. You feel me? Jama's got to stick together, bro.
He's no longer a job.
They don't, who will?
100%. Like who's gonna do it? Some random Adan family? Angelina Jolie? What is this, bro? I'm not gonna let some random white family adopt my sister's kid.
From Jama to Johnson.
Yo, imagine.
That's
Yo,
crazy.
that's not gonna be it for me, bro. But yeah, I do think he's in the wrong.
But let me paint you a realistic scenario.
Go ahead.
What if your sibling is just not responsible? Like, you know that.
Mm.
And in this scenario, this person's 38 years old and a bachelor.
Jeez,
And
that's
it's
good.
telling you, I don't want nothing to do with kids.
Yeah.
Like, if something does happen to you, God forbid, wouldn't it be smart for you to have better options suitable or better suitable options to raise your child?
To raise What do you mean? Say it again.
Like, like if you're the sister in this scenario, right?
Okay.
And you know your brother is not capable
Yeah.
of taking care of your child. If there was something to happen to you, wouldn't it be smart for you to be thinking about an alternative person to be the godparent?
Sure.
Maybe if it's not
Okay.
even blood related.
That sure. If that person is not fit to be a parent, like let's say they're irresponsible, let's say they're not like the type of person who would take on parenthood. I understand your point, but I'm thinking it more realistic as somebody in my position and somebody in my sister's position. If she was to just be like, "Yo, you're gonna be the kid if I pass away," I'll be like, "I'll do it." I'm not gonna like doing it, but I'll do it. You know what I mean? To your point, I see where you're coming from. There may be somebody else who's better suited for the role, who that child's development might not be best under that person's care. To that point, I see where you're coming from. But in this scenario, she didn't see it like that.
That's her problem. I feel like that's a problem that she needs to address herself. It's not a problem that the brother is
Yeah.
causing. He's being honest. He's
Honest
telling her
about what?
straight up, I'm not able to take care of your child.
No, he is able. He's not willing. There was nothing in the story that made us assume that he wasn't a good human or
Well,
he
the remark he
he was
made was he said,
irresponsible.
I'm barely able to take care of myself.
That was the joke. That
There's
that
some
doesn't,
truth in
that doesn't necessarily mean that it's true.
I mean, the point that he was trying to make was I made that joke to let them know or sort of give them some separation to the idea of, okay, if this does happen
But
to
that
become a
doesn't
reality, then I don't want you to
necessarily mean
consider me.
that doesn't mean that it was true. It just means that he was trying to separate himself from the idea of being a parent, if that so happened.
That's what I just said.
No. But the separation aspect of it is the joke.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think the element of the joke being I'm irresponsible was true. You feel me? Like if he wanted to take on that responsibility, I feel like he could.
So you're saying he could step up to the plate
Yeah,
to be that
100%.
godparent.
Yeah,
But
could.
he's saying, I can't.
Yeah, just out of like he in the story he said, "I like kids. Do I want them to be my kid? No, but do I like
Wait.
other people's kids? Definitely."
Yeah, he pretty much said that.
Oh, yeah. He said, I'm divorced, no kids. Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if you were married at one point, that means you were financially responsible. You feel me? You're not gonna get married broke.
But he's divorced. So he couldn't even handle that.
That's fair enough, but that's not mean if you have a kid here, you step up. Captain America, no shield. What do you think, Mukhtar?
That was a good one.
Thank you,
Yeah, I
brother.
like that. Now, first thing you have to realize, you're 38. If they're newly parents, they're very sensitive in this moment.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
Very good
you're
point.
not supposed to be cracking no jokes.
Yeah.
Just say yes, I will, even if you don't feel like you will, because the sensitivity in the room and tension's already high because they're sleep deprived. You're not supposed to be telling the truth or making jokes around them. No knock knocks. Secondly, I agree with you that if you're not in the position to right now, you have to be aware of your family, that one day your family may lean on you. May not be for the childcare, maybe for something else. Let's say they lose their apartment. They may need to stay with you for a couple days. You got to be willing to make accommodations. Let's say something else happens more grandiose. They may come to you and say, "Hey, you got to step up as an uncle and as a brother. This is the key moment. We need you." You're 38 years old, man. You gotta take some responsibility other than yourself. That's my main idea.
I don't know, man. I feel like, from the perspective of, I'm not a parent, obviously, but like, I would think from the perspective of a parent, you'd be very cautious in making those life decisions for your child. Like if something were to happen to me, I would want my child to be in the best hands possible. That from anyone in my life, my immediate surroundings or my spouse's immediate surroundings can take up the job of raising this child, then I'd want the best person suitable for that role. And if I know my immediate sibling is not the best suitable person for it, I'm not really going to be considering them as much as I would love them to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
But do you feel like he doesn't know that doesn't have any emotional connection to his nephew as of yet?
That's where
Because
I think you're
the way he
right.
keeps on saying the kid.
That's where I think you're right. I feel like the timing, 'cause I think this conversation can be had. This logical conversation can be had with the brother and his sister, but the timing in which he made that comment and the fact that he made it in a lighthearted joke remark made it kind of, that's where the miscommunication came up. It's like, this is not supposed to be taken as a lighthearted joke. This is a serious, heavy conversation. And I think that they should have that conversation down the line somewhere when they've, smoothed out this problem. But for the sister to be expecting the brother to be that person for them, I think is wrong. If he's telling her right out bat, I'm not that guy. He's not that guy.
Mm.
Are you that guy? You said you were that
I'm
guy.
that guy. I'm that guy.
But he's not that guy
But why are you not that guy?
because he's just not responsible.
We don't know that.
He's telling you that.
But we don't. I think it's because he's selfish. That's why.
That could be very well the reason. That's why a lot of people at 38 are quote unquote bums
Yeah.
because they're selfish.
But you know.
But if his selfishness is going to be a direct aspect of his personality or his characteristic in his life, then it's wise not to put your child through that.
But I would assume that my sibling will take.
That's where you got to remove your
child.
expectations a little bit. If this person is showing
bruh.
you,
Nah.
if you put this person in a high regard, you got to have a reason why they're in that high regard.
Yeah.
If they're not proving to you that they're deserving of that high regard, then don't put them in it. Right?
But you have no choice. If you're dead and your husband's dead,
Come on, bro.
Well,
No,
that's
no,
that's
no,
that's
no,
why
how
they're
do you
having this
s-
conversation now, right? So that when they get to that, if they eventually, God forbid, get to that point, then they have the right course of action to go with. That's why they're having these, remarks and dynamics conversations
Yo.
right now.
Let me say this right now. God forbid if I was to pass away, okay? And I had a child, and let's say my wife passed away with me. Freak accident, okay? And I have my sisters. And they seen my kid go through the whole adoption process, and didn't be like, maybe I can take care of him. Or didn't even consider themselves. I would feel betrayed.
Yeah, but your sisters are great.
I'm saying
great
even like I'm
if
just
you
saying
had a sibling
random.
if you had a brother that was in the streets,
Yeah.
like living a street life, you wouldn't want to put your child in that,
but
and that's your brother.
you would expect him.
I would expect
even
the
still-
support.
But even
man.
still, would you, if your brother has ties to the streets, would you want that to be the next in line for your child to be taken care of, taken under,
Well,
no
a
matter
lot
what, biological?
there
or
has
not?
to be some form of support that you provide my kid.
But you hear about a lot of
in the
street
streets. You're gonna put your child through that.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying you have to be the primary.
We're talking about the
caregiver.
godparent, right? The person who's gonna take up the job of being the child's parent after you're gone.
You have to be there of some form of support for my kid, even if you so happen to not be in a situation
Who's gonna
where
raise
you're
the
capable.
child?
If it's your scenario and they're unable to do so, okay, fine. You can put them in the best possible situation. Having said that, you can't cut them off cold turkey. You
That's
have
not
to
what's-
be there
that's-
for
that's-
some
that's not
support.
that's not what I'm.
No,
discussing.
but in the case of the extreme, okay, and the kid, the gang member, and my brother's a gang member, and he can't, necessarily take care of the kid. Sure, I expect you to still be there for the kid in some shape or form, okay? I don't need you to cut off the kid cold turkey. You still somehow need to be in contact with that adoption family, be there to support, be the form of. You're my only connection.
But do you think it's smart if somebody's showing you with their daily lives that they're not responsible or fit to be a normal citizen in the world or normal parent, normal adult? Is it wise to have those unrealistic expectations of them to
is
step
the
up after the fact?
This is the catalyst. Change. I died. I need you to step up. I need you to take care of my kid. There's a new generation that now you're responsible for that I expect you to take care of. You
Can I
feel
ask
me?
you a question? With all due respect, why do you think your kid matters to somebody else?
That's my sibling. It doesn't
Why do-
matter. My kid doesn't matter to a random person. It matters to my
Yeah,
sibling
but even if it's your sibling, why do you think that it matters?
because they're a part of me. And if I matter to you, my kid matters to you.
That's your take on it.
Sure,
Why
but
does that
that's
have to
that's
be
my
everybody
that's my
else's take?
sibling's take on it too.
Why does it have to be that? Why can't you have a sibling who's just a crash out?
No,
You-
y'all are not allowed to be crash outs.
I'm just saying it's possible.
No,
Some siblings crash out.
nah. I'm telling you right now. You have 3 other siblings.
Yeah,
There's one of them that you would make that. No,
of course. Yeah, my sister.
exactly. So what I'm trying to say is there's always one sibling who can step up to plate.
Not always. We're
Most
blessed.
cases.
We're talking from a position of being blessed. But
Most
some
cases.
people have situations in their lives where their direct or only immediate sibling is not able to be that person in their lives.
Which is true.
able to or willing to is
Both.
the key.
Both.
He said.
Both.
But at the same time, you have to give people room for growth. This maybe is ideal right now. 2 years down the line, when the child's 2 and he's involved, then this may be a different person.
That could be the case, but to put expectations for that is a little unrealistic based off how somebody's.
Bro, I'm dead.
Yeah.
You feel me?
He's
I'm
poor.
dead. How you not taking care of my kid?
I would. I'm not saying. I'm just saying not everybody would. You're saying everybody would. That's what I'm getting from.
My siblings.
Yeah, but
They should.
they're all individuals. At the end of the day, they're all their own people.
No. At that point, it's
Some
a
of them,
family.
some of them can be waste suits, can be crash outs,
No.
can be assholes.
No. Let me tell you something.
In this scenario right now, this person writing the story, their older brother is a crash out.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He's not willing.
He's telling
not
her,
the same-
"I'm
it's not-
a
it's not the same
crash
thing.
out. I already crashed out in my life. Don't let me crash out a baby now."
Fam.
That's what he said. And as the sibling, if I'm that person's sibling, I'm gonna tell them, "Thanks for letting me know that." I'm gonna have animosity. I'm gonna have, like, I'm gonna feel different. I'm gonna feel a way about it, of course.
Mhm.
But I gotta do what's right for my kid. At the end of the day, it's the next person in line. Mukhtar. I'm calling Mukhtar immediately.
Mukhtar?
But clearly, she doesn't have that next person in line mentality.
She's gotta
You
figure
think
it out.
The person that's gonna love my child the most is the person that's blood related.
That's the flaw in this right here. Is that just because you're blood doesn't mean that it's always gonna be good gravy everywhere.
But
This person can't be a crash out, can't be a waste you, no
I-
matter if they're your sibling or not.
I understand his ideas though, but you have to expect something from your siblings. Otherwise, what's the point of the relationship?
My whole point is you have to be realistic about your expectations. I understand in a healthy scenario, you have to have that expectation that your sibling will step up for your kid when something, if God forbid something happens to you, they will step up for you. But in the reality in which your sibling is not able to, and they've proven to you with the way they've chosen to live their life that they can't, it's not realistic for you to expect them to step up and be the mature person you want them to be. That's my point.
No. I refuse. They're stepping up. Simple.
You can't make them.
My death will make them. It's a
That
wake-up-
can't
it's a
even.
wake-up
That
call.
might not even make them.
It's a wake up call.
That might not even wake
If
them
that
up.
doesn't wake them, bro, they're not. A
You know, Lil Durk made the album "Sign to the Streets," right?
You're with the John.
Yeah, I'm moving them from jail.
I'm just
Don't-
saying, there's this-
Don't come to my grave. Don't.
How can you
think
dictate
about
that?
me.
How can you
Yeah,
dictate
I'm telling
that?
you right now.
You're dead.
No. I'll tell you right now. I'm still. I'm gonna look down like this. You feel me? I'm not.
You're
I'm
gonna
not-
haunt niggas?
Yeah, I'm a
gonna
haunt
haunt
niggas,
niggas?
bro. I'm a haunt
Ghost
niggas.
Jama, Ghost Jama.
No, yo, if you
You'd be like,
think
yo, why aren't you visiting your nephew?
that- yo, I'm done.
Yo, what the fuck?
that's-
Pick your
that's-
nephew up from school, or else, you're not gonna get some sleep tonight.
Yo, don't talk to don't even talk.
You're gonna
to me
haunt your
after
bro?
that, fam. You feel me? Don't talk to
You're
me.
gonna hire your bro or your sis to take care of your kid?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're a weirdo, man.
you wouldn't.
Just let them rock, man. They're not gonna do it. Let them
rock.
rock.
No.
Let the adoption agency, like CPS, all those, child care systems, let them take care of your child.
That's wild.
Let them take in your kid.
All right. Who is the person in the wrong in the situation?
The brother is the asshole.
Wild. Oh yeah, I agree. I thought he was on the other side.
He was arguing the other side. Wait,
I was with you, but I was just trying to explain the.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still see you as the enemy. I don't give a shit.
Nah, nigga,
you-
never that.
Well, who's in the wrong?
no, the brother's in the wrong. You gotta know people are when people are vulnerable and their emotions are at a high,
Yeah.
and you gotta play the field. Clearly, he's 38. He had a wife. He clearly knows
Yeah.
the sensitive moments in people's lives.
Or doesn't. He's
So-
divorced.
No, but the wife probably had friends and other stuff like that he's around
Mhm.
that had sensitive moments. So you have to know and be aware of where you are and not crack jokes.
And Mukhtar, I agree with you.